A60 वाले हैं, हम A60 वाले हैं. Thank you. You know what? This is always, it's a privilege to be here and speaking to you. But this is one of those very rare occasions when you have this room full of leadership, full of high performers, full of coveted and most admired team that any business and any organization can aspire for. All the success that we're talking about, all the accolades that we're talking about is, gentlemen, because of you. Thank you so very much for everything that you've done through the year. And when I say partnership is a growth strategy, we really mean it. And I really want to thank Anshu for creating occasions and bringing this culture. And I want to talk about a few anecdotes, and I want to talk about why it is a growth strategy. We take decisions. We take decisions which are good decisions. We take decisions which may not be so great decisions. But when we take the decisions together, they're always the best decisions. And that's what we did together when we structured our turnaround of the business, when we decided what strategies of growth to be made. And last 1.5 years, because we did it together, we owned it together, we implemented it together, we walked the road together strongly. The business has moved from a very negative cycle to a positive cycle. I really want to applaud and thank each one of you in this room. Thank you for your belief in the business. Thank you for believing in the values and the founder's fundamentals. Thank you for living the spirit of entrepreneurship in this business. Thank you for trust, and thank you for your partnership. But that's the most important thing. You know, the currency of success, and I have an anecdote on that. Once in a leadership meeting, Anshu asked me to walk with him on a morning walk, and I was running with him. What I mean is that he walks so fast, you have to run with him. And we were having some discussion, and he was talking about one subject, and he used a phrase. This is called currency of success. And he said, what is the currency of success? There are different currency of success for different people. Your currency of success can be very different than mine. In Amway, in any other corporate, when we talk about the numbers, when you talk about our turnover, when you talk about top line, that's an outcome. The currency of success are very different for us. The currency of success are your success, your team's success. When a 15% goes and breaks a leg, or 21%, that's 10,000 PV. And when he does it 6 times and he participates in a new platinum forum, that's currency of success. Whereas 6 months of performance, that gives you the top line and revenue. So for us, for me, for this team, it is very important what we look at as currency of success. And I would like to share some of the successes that we have made together. This is one of the most phenomenal and the most fantastic. If you ask me, this is going to be the most landmark here. We are sitting here, and to what vision Anshu said, we are at that tipping point, at that cusp, where we can define what is this business is going to be for the next few years. As I move into it, we'll read this slide left to right. Revenue is an outcome. That's the P&L. That's how any corporate will look at how they perform. That's how shareholders will look at the business. But we don't look at the business like that. We say that's an outcome. We look at the business from the left-hand side. That's about productivity. And what is that? Productivity is when you get somebody in the business, you sponsor somebody. And then you teach him how to do business when he does some sales and he does some turnover. And then he teaches and sponsors somebody else in the business. And when you do that again and again, that business starts becoming a 6%, 15%, and then you start finding leaders in that business. And that business leads to what? A qualified month. Some 15% gets latched onto some hook, and he becomes a qualified silver in that month. And when you do that 6 months, what do you get? Platinum. You do that 12 months, what is the hook? The new ALS. And when you do that, you reach the levels in the business, and that leads to revenue. So it's the principles, these are the fundamentals of this business. This is very important. As we look at our A60 year, it is very important for us to look at what is the starting point, what is the cornerstone of this business, what are those basic building blocks on which we are going to build our qualification, our team's qualification. And that starts with the first person you sponsor and the first person you introduce to the business, and you teach him how to sell products and brands, and you sponsor somebody else and teach him how to sponsor products and brands, and that accumulates into the business volume that you want, and that accumulates into your Q months, and that accumulates into the levels of success in the business. So that's very important. It is nothing new. This is nothing new. We are all aware of it. But this is something, if we keep our focus every day, this is going to give us the results. This is a business which is a simple business, but not an easy business. This business is not going to happen on its own. This business has to be done every day, each day, by you and your team. And when that happens, that's when we start seeing all these outcomes. So it is very important that when we start looking at this year and the years beyond that, we start looking at the business from the founder's fundamental, the basic, the grassroots. And it is a business that has to be built every single day. Last year has been an outstanding year. An outstanding year, I'm not going to talk about the turnover. We are going to talk about some very health indicators in the business. What are the health indicators? If you are healthy, what does it mean? Your heartbeat is at a particular level. You don't have a blood pressure. You don't have a sugar. They are vital parameters in the business. Some of the most critical vital parameters in the business have really shown great trends. They have really shown great growth. So let's talk about contributing buyers. They are our distributors who are engaged. They are our customers who are buying products from us. If you look at that, we had 27% growth. No wonder that's why our business is growing by 20%. That means there are more than 27% growth we are seeing in people who are engaged in this business. When you sponsor somebody, if he doesn't do anything, that's no business. But if you sponsor somebody and he makes some purchase, and he sponsors somebody and he makes some purchase, that's growth, and that increased by 27%. Let's look at preferred customer. We are seeing a triple-digit growth on that. What's the reason? Yeah, we have a rule that you have to have 3 pieces. We have also introduced activation. But what it tells us is that more and more people are buying on brands, and that has grown by 3 digits. PC productivity, that's very important. There are 2 kinds of PCs we are getting in this business. One, and maximum of them are led by you. You are going and selling to them. You burn the rubber on the road. You sponsor somebody. You do product demonstrations. You go and sell the products. That productivity per PC has grown up by 60%. Let's talk about your productivity, our distributors in this room and people who are not in this room. The productivity of our distributors have gone up by 26%. That's good. These are health indicators of this business. If we continue to really keep our finger on this pulse, that tells us that a business is trending healthy, and this business is going to be sustainable business that Samir alluded to, Anshu alluded to. Let's look at PC contribution to the revenue. When we started the PC program, it was 3%. Today it's trending at 16%. And I think what we will look at is that how do we build a sustainable business? Looking at it, the founder's fundamentals. How do we build this business in terms of getting people sell brands, getting people sponsor, and how do we take it to 30%? If you look at, we spoke about a country, Thailand. Thailand total population is how many crores? Anybody remembers? 7 crores. And out of that, Bangkok is how big? 60% of the population stays in Bangkok. The total turnover of Thailand is 2.5 times than us. And that turnover is coming from a city like Bangkok. And that's a function of productivity per distributor. There are more people in the business. Those people are more highly engaged. Per person is doing more selling, more consumption, and they are doing higher levels of achievement in the business. So we can keep that in our mind. Anshu spoke about one Chhattisgarh. Chhattisgarh is one country that is getting performed. So that's the huge potential that we have if we keep the health parameters there. The most important thing in this business is when you get somebody in the business, they trust you. They trust you because you are getting them in the business, and what is our responsibility? They should earn money from the business. Do you agree? They have to make money out of this business. We have seen that 22% more bonus earners have participated in the business. That tells that more people are making that choice in this business, and they're earning money out of the business. That's most important. I will move to the next slide, and this is most important. This is the most heartwarming slide. And let's give a big round of applause for all the platinums who have grown this much. We have got highest ever new platinum in this business. Our number of platinums in the business has grown by 56%. Platinum is the most important pin. That's the fulcrum, that's the pivot in this business. When you get a new platinum, you find that your grassroots, The new green shoots in the business, they are strong because more 6%ers are going to 9 are going to 12%. They're doing more retailing, they're doing more sales, they are sponsoring, they're doing more volumes, and somebody is going, at a 21% leg. And that leg, when it qualifies 6 months, it's going platinum. So when you have a platinum in the business, somebody above is breaking platinums, breaking an emerald qualification. It's adding to maybe an FA point for a diamond who is going EDC. So if you can focus on this one singular pivot, which is platinum, it means you're building a strong, healthy business at the grassroots, and that business is strong up also. So it has a high downstream and upstream impact. We are seeing new platinums have grown by 56%. First year requalification, 145% is huge. And what it tells me, the first year I get motivated. I get hooked onto my goal, and I go platinum. The next year is the most difficult one. The next year is the most difficult one because after that motivation, do I requalify? And we have seen only 30% people requalify in the first year. That population is increased by 145%. That means those people's belief in the business, their structure in the business is very good. And that's another important health indicator in the business. If your first-time qualifiers are increasing, you're going to have a long-term sustainable business. Let's look at the third one, comeback. Comeback is very important to us. We all in our life have many choices. We all in our life take decisions. We all in our life drift and go out of focus. This tells us there were a lot of people who were not building the business actively. They have come back in the business. They have participated back in the business. These people are back in the game. They are actively involved in the business. So we see a very high number of comeback platinums, which is very heartwarming. And then what happens when somebody is qualifying and then requalifying and then requalifying, or moving up to the next level in the business? So we see a very high population of requalified. So all the indicators in the business are very good, very strong, and I really commend each one of you for this outstanding result for your team. Thank you so very much. Let's look at the significant level in the business, which is where you take that, it's like your first step towards your diamond qualification. If you are an emerald in the business, means you are a diamond in the business. You would be a diamond in the business. That's such an amazing thing. And our team are going to talk about what initiative we are taking to strengthen further, this important piece in the business, this important level in the business. On the emeralds, the new emeralds have grown by 26%. Look at the first year requalification of new emeralds, 267%. That's huge. And to me, those are the people who are going to be strong contenders for A60. They will be your next diamonds. They're going to give you the next FA points. They can lead you to your EDC qualification. So this is a very important parameter. Comeback emerald, 12%, and requalified emerald at 70%. We're seeing this huge surge. It's like that high tide that raises all the boat. So again, it is about the amazing effort put in by each one of you in this team, which is leading to this kind of outcomes. This is about the people in this room. This is about you. We are going to have more than 60% more diamonds this year than last year. 60% more diamonds, and they are here. You are there in this room. But there are other people, and I would say, and I'm kind of looking at the opportunity. There's some people who are not diamonds in this year, and they are also in this room. But they are going to be there. They're going to be there for the A60 Club. Each one of us, each one of the leaders in this room can be the potential diamond in A60 year. Do we take that challenge? Very low. Do we take that challenge? And let me tell you, this will be the highest ever participation of diamonds in any year by Amway India that will go to the 60th anniversary. No clap on the left side. We are not going. But it's about that intent. It's all about that intent and the decision, and then, this business has to be worked every day. It's just not going to happen on its own. This is what Amway business is all about. That's it. This is what Amway business is all about. This business is all about selling products and teaching others how to do it. And every day, each day, when you go out and you sponsor somebody, and he goes out, he goes out and sponsors somebody and helps him to find a customer and does a volume, and that continues, That's the power of this channel. And I think that's very important for us when we look at, the next year and the next year and the year after that. A61 is not going to happen. This business is not going to be successful if we don't build the business on the principles and the foundation. हर दिन कुआं खोद के पानी नहीं पी सकते हैं, right? What you have done, what effort you have put, that effort has to continue. And it has to be further built upon. And in this business, there is no other shortcut. There are no free deals, there are no shortcuts. This business has to be done each day, every day. People who are getting into the business, they should know how to sponsor somebody, and after they have sponsored somebody, they should teach how to sell and how to sell to customers, and that has to continue to happen every day. As simple as that. So I just wanted to hand over now to my team, and there are very exciting announcements, and those are very important. But the most important thing is your intent. What you do and how you run with those announcements, and there will be a workshop tomorrow also. That's most important. So we are going to talk about the new compensation plan. That's a big deal. What are we going to do with it? How we are going to use it? How more people are going to make more money out of this business? We're going to talk about the new GIP. We're going to talk about the leadership bonus, and the new leadership bonus is huge. The impact on the business can be huge. The impact on your money can be huge. We're going to do it through our workshop tomorrow. We're going to talk about the most exciting NCAs. It's going to blow you out. So help me welcome Rajesh Vazrani on the stage to take us through